Good morning, everyone. We are here convening the selection committee for the Sewage and Water Board, specifically to fill a vacancy in District E. I'll proceed with the first item of business as the roll call. It's Nick Harris, Sharonda Williams, present. Jeffrey Benjamin,
Present.
Raymond Brown, Elizabeth Duet,
Present.
Mark Pyle,
Present.
Kamashia Smith Ross. Kamisha
Present,
Smith
yes.
Ross. Okay. Sandra Lindquist, Edward Smith, and Ron Carrera.
Present.
Okay, we have a quorum. This first item of business is selection of the chair and vice chair for today's meeting. I have served as chair for the last couple of meetings, but if there is a motion to have someone else serve as chair or a motion for a selection of a vice chair, I will entertain such a motion. Nobody has a motion.
Okay.
I guess, who was the vice chair at the last
It
meeting?
was Raymond, was the vice
Raymond.
chair for the last
Okay,
time.
so I guess that means we should select a vice chair for today's meetings in his absence. Is there a motion, or is there someone who would like to serve as vice chair?
I'll serve as vice chair.
You have a suit and tie on.
I'd be happy to serve.
Okay, so is there any discussion or opposition to Mr. Benjamin serving as vice chair?
Nope.
So
Okay,
moved.
we have selected the chair and vice chair. The next item is the adoption of bylaws. I know that everyone has seen the bylaws before, but they are contained in your meeting packet. It sets forth our selection committee composition and basically how we proceed with a quorum and what our duties are. If there are any questions or discussion, we can have that. If not, I'll entertain a motion to adopt the bylaws.
I move to adopt the bylaws.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any opposition? If none, the bylaws are adopted. We have received applications from 5 individuals. As you all recall from our last meeting, we convened previously to fill the vacancy for District E, and we vetted the applications that we had received at that time. We selected 3 names to send to the mayor, but it was later discovered that one of those individuals did not live in District E. We have before us the 2 applications that we previously vetted and submitted to the mayor, in addition to 3 additional names. For efficiency's sake, I'm going to suggest that we keep the 2 names that we already submitted and vetted previously, and then consider the last 3 applications that were submitted to fill the 3rd slot that needs to be submitted to the mayor. Is there any discussion or question, or does anybody think differently about that?
I agree.
With that, then, we would need to consider and discuss the applications of Sherion Love, Brandon Henry, and Ariane Greenidge, all of which are contained in our packets. Okay, the first one is Sherion Love, who has submitted all of her documentation and says that she has experience in finance, accounting, and business management. She is an account manager for the Louisiana Department of Transportation and Development, and most of her professional career seems to be in account management, and she has an MBA from LSU with an accounting concentration, as well as Bachelor of Business Administration from UNO. Anyone have questions or comments or thoughts about Sherion Love?
Okay. I don't have an issue, this is just a question. On the resume provided there's an address of 5003 St. Claude Avenue.
Mm-hmm.
On the application for District E, there's an Eastover address. Just want to, so we confirmed that this individual resides in New Orleans East, 6331 Eastover Drive. That's what they're saying. It's just, they have a different address on their resume that they submitted. If you see at the top for Ms. Love,
Yeah.
the address that she has in the box is a St. Claude address,
Right.
70117. And this is a District E seat, but on the application for District E council, that's Henry, okay.
Yeah, hers is right.
So where is,
Yeah,
all right, I'm sorry if I
Oh,
missed
that's
it.
right, I was just making
Which
sure.
is, okay, so what's the address?
It says 5003 St. Claude Avenue on her application as
Okay.
well.
And that's within the area? That's what I wanted to just confirm.
District E area, correct? Yeah.
Okay.
Any other questions about Sherry On? No. All right, the next applicant is Brandon Henry. He has submitted all of his documentation and says that his experience and skill set is in business administration, engineering, construction, and business management. He has a master's in business administration from UNO, and his resume reflects those skill sets in terms of management and engineering. Anyone have questions, comments, or thoughts about this applicant?
What struck me about his resume is he has a fair amount of experience in cybersecurity. He has a BS in computer engineering. I don't recall another person since the year that I've been here that's had that skill set. It's just something to consider, that he might add some value and perspective on the board.
Anyone else have comments, thoughts about this applicant?
Just for me, he has more than just accounting. I think he has the overall business operations management and the computer part is, the tech part, I think is important. But I do.
To look at his resume, you can see the skill set being aligned with the needs. I guess the only question I would have, and this is my ignorance, I don't know, I see he's presently employed with Henry Consulting. I don't know if that's a firm that has done or works with Sewage and Water Board. Just want to make sure there's no conflicts before we move forward. And forgive my ignorance, I just don't know our policies and all the various vendors that the Sewage and Water Board works with. And it's probably better to make sure we address this on the front end,
Yeah.
so we don't have to come back again like the last time.
How would we know that if he's done business?
I think they would have to do a scan of sewage and water board specific contracts, but Henry Consulting certainly has contracts and related litigation with the city of New Orleans. I think that's public knowledge and widely publicized.
Is it against our bylaws if these applicants have done previous business with the water board?
Previous business? I wouldn't think so. I don't think that that's a conflict if it's previous business. I would think that the rules of government ethics would perhaps, depending on your role in a company, prevent you from doing future business with an entity.
Yeah. So he can't use his place on the board to advance his company if he's there in the future.
Any other comments or thoughts on this application? Are you ready to move to the next one? Okay, the next one is Ariane Walker Greenidge, who has submitted her materials and indicated that her skill sets are community advocacy and personnel change management, business administration and management. She has a tremendous amount of HR experience, it seems from her resume. Works at HRI Hospitality and Affiliates, and seems to have been doing HR work there for quite a long time, as well as at LCMC. She has a master's in human resources from the University of Maryland. And her community involvement is centered around workforce development and engagement. Anyone have thoughts or comments on this applicant? No? Thoughts on that one?
Already another HR person on the board.
Looking in most of these, I don't see another sort of HR person that stands out to me based on like my knowledge of the current board members.
Does she have anything about like conflict resolution?
Community and consumer advocacy is listed as a core competency. That's the only thing I can think of that would be kind of,
Yeah.
and she's got conflict resolution and mediation listed as a leadership skill on her resume. Okay, anyone else have thoughts on this particular applicant? If we're looking at other skill sets of other board members that are already on the board, I think we have finance as a background. Kind of government management. I don't know if anybody else knows any of the existing board members, but they're listed on the front page of our packets.
I know Tamika DePlessis.
And what's her skills? What's her?
Her background is in the sciences, but she's our student affairs vice chancellor. But she's been on the board for years. I think she's actually coming off the board.
Somebody said,
Since 2014.
This is the seat that we were filling, Director Duplessis.
Tamika's seat. Okay.
She is the District D representative. And just for some context, for our current board, there are a number of attorneys, an engineer, someone with public policy, good government expertise, community advocates. So we do have a mix.
I like that HR skill set being added. That's,
I do too.
I would agree.
For me, it's between Henry and Greenidge, but I would probably lean towards the HR experience too.
anybody else have comments or thoughts on the applicants? Are we ready to move to item 6 to select and announce a candidate?
Yes.
Okay. Does anyone want to make a motion?
Motion
Okay.
to nominate Greenidge. Is that what we're motioning for?
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Okay, so that was unanimous. We will then submit the two names that we presented before, which were Jacqueline Bayham and Tanisha Stevens, and Ariane Greenidge to the mayor for consideration. Is there any public comment? Great, then we are at the end of the agenda. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Good job.
All right.
Second.
All right, I'm sure there's no opposition, so we are adjourned. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Last
Good
time I-
job, Vice Chair.